Let's get a megapixel count on that. Oh, 14775 x 2011820. That is yeah, 174 million pixels. So there's a 174 megapixel photo right there. That's awesome. I recently traveled to Snow Canyon State Park, which is located just a short 10 minutes away from my home in southern Utah, and I was traveling there the other day with one goal in mind, and that goal was to create the largest panoramic image I ever have made in my life. And well, here it is. Well, actually, no, just kidding. This is an iPhone 4S malfunctioning panoramic mode. I noticed this awesome rock formation a little bit off the trail and quickly snapped a pic with my iPhone 4S. And I immediately knew that this is where I'm going to start with my mega ultra panoramic image. Yeah, so I started with these 63 18 megapixel photos with the help of my Canon Rebel T3i and a really awesome 75 to 300 millimeter zoom lens. I'm not sure how far zoomed in I was. It wasn't all the way, but it was probably in the 80s to the 150s range. And I use those to start with the help of Photoshop Elements 8 from 2008, so it's pretty old software. I need to get the new one, to composite basic panoramics of the whole scene. So here's part 1. Kind of got the surrounding area, the bottom, the top, and the right side. And then part 2, I totally got the bottom half of the goal image. And then the third part, I just focused on the sky and what color of the blue I'd be dealing with. Because usually when I do a big image like this, I just replace the sky with a gradient color background. This, part 4, all the middle stuff. And you can see I coordinated, so like these are all orange, these are all green, these are all red. And I got some purple in here too. And basically I just tag those with the different colors to keep track of which photos I've already used to stitch together photos in the panoramic mode for Photoshop Elements. And when I had that all together, I made one giant panoramic in Photoshop Elements 8, but I ran into a problem that it was actually too big to export. It was bigger than the 2-file limit that Elements 8 has. So, what do? Well, I tried saving it as a JPEG, that didn't work. I cleaned out the RAM, saved it as JPEG, that didn't work. And so, well, maybe if I make the actual photo smaller, I could crop out, take out all the sky, and just save it over in chunks. And so that's what I did. I just cropped it, saved it in chunks, and that worked totally fine. And then I brought those chunks back into the big boy Photoshops. I'm still rocking CS6, I don't have the new stuff yet. And then I was able to do a transparent filter, line them up, and then boom, we have our image. Now the gradient at first didn't look super good, but I knew that would just be a placeholder until I got the real sky in there. I was able to clean up the edges just enough to get started. I also didn't want to get rid of this rock formation on the side, so I skewed the perspective a little bit. And I copied and pasted that bottom left corner in from the bottom right. And thank heavens for masks. Masks are incredible, and I was able to use them to good effect. So, okay, I'm almost done. I'm almost there. Let's play around with the gradients, and I'm just not happy because, well, I know it's like super duper fake. But I remembered that I had these pictures of the clouds that were just a little bit out of the frame of the normal photo, and so I wanted to Photoshop those into the sky to make it more interesting. Originally, I tried to just erase the background in the sky and have them blend in that way, though ultimately that didn't really work out very well. Didn't look good. What I did instead was match the gradients of the blues to the gradients in the actual photos of the clouds that I used, and instead just reverse blended those cloud photos back into the gradients. Then there's the moon, because the moon definitely was there, but I couldn't quite remember where it was placed. But first I had to make it look good, because the blue in the moon is a completely different blue. And so I figured I'd just cut it out this way, blend it, and from a distance, dang, that looks like the real moon. And it is the real moon, it's just not in the right place. One of the last steps is to go around and trace around these edges. that did not get picked up the first time, and just take them out. I could spend even longer and redraw all of those branches and make it color accurate for like the leaves and stuff, but no. And of course, every time I do something major or big, I hit that Command S and save. And like, this is a huge file, it takes forever to save. And as you can see, the final result, 174.6 megapixels. But we're still not done. We still have a little bit of color correction to do. And then there's also what to do with the moon. So I actually went to social media and asked people, hey, what the heck should I do with this moon? And I got some feedback, but it turns out that I already had a picture with the moon in it. Remember this Instagram photo? Well, if you look really closely right there, yep, that's the moon. It's hard to see, but it's definitely there. And that's where I decided to put the moon because, well, that's roughly where it actually is. And by pure happenstance, that location was one of the most requested locations from my social media feedback. So it just worked out really nicely. Now for the final touches, I lowered the highlights, but that oversaturated the reds, so I fixed that as well. And I really wanted the sagebrush down here in the bottom to pop out, so I selected that and boosted the contrast, so it looks a lot better. Woo! Well, it's been quite the journey, guys. Let's see, saving 85%, so we're still almost saved. Oh wait, it's saving again. Stopped at 77. 79. %. Saved it. Looks like it's 1.17 gigabytes. That's a big photo. And so here we have on the left the 8 megapixel photo, and on the right the 174.6 megapixel photo. What do you think? So just for a size reference, this is a 4K image, and this is the full 174 megapixel photo. This is just so this is just the baby photo though. This is the smaller panoramic. How about that? It's not too shabby. So there you have it. That's how you make a 174 megapixel photo. And now let's go make a bigger one. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, so thanks for watching. That probably means you liked the video, so if you haven't already, please click that like button. And since you're already clicking things, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell. Also, check me out on social media at Yoshi on the Go. Thanks, guys. Bye.